Alright, should be able to open her up a little bit here. I'll leave it as late as possible. See if I can keep the front wheel down. Oh man. Love motorcycles, man. Love them. Well guys, this week I'm lucky enough to be testing the all-new Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. You probably know that this bike is hugely improved compared to its predecessor, putting it well and truly in the super naked category. Make no mistake, this is a seriously fast and seriously capable performance motorcycle, putting it in contention with things like the Ducati Street Fighter, the Aprilia Tuono V4, and even the BMW S1000R. Super naked. So let's have a think about what makes a naked bike super and why I think the Speed Triple 1200 RS deserves that title. This, my friends, is the all-new Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS in Sapphire Black. It's available now in Aussie dealers from $27,900 right away. It packs the eckiest of thumps from its new 1160cc triple cylinder engine that generates 132 kilowatts of power and 125 newton meters of torque. That's 22 kilowatts and 8 newton meters more than the bike it replaces, but it doesn't stop there. The new Speed Triple has an all-new chassis which has helped drop its weight by 10 kilograms to just 198 kilograms wet, and a handful of ergonomic changes have also been made to give it a racier, tucked-in feeling. What really elevates the Speed Triple to super status is its fully adjustable Öhlins suspension, massive Brembo brakes and properly racy Metzeler Racetech RR tyres. Technology advancements for the new Speed Triple are headlined by a new 5-inch TFT instrument cluster with a refreshed user interface. That gives access to 5 rider modes, smartphone mirroring, sat-nav, a lap timer, all that good stuff. Also new is a revised up-down quick shifter, a full keyless system for the ignition, steering lock and fuel filler cap. There's also backlit switchgear, a refreshed LED lighting package with self-cancelling indicators, all new styling, a new seat, lightweight 17-inch wheels, testicles, spectacles, wallet, watch. Woo! I gotta say I was quite intimidated by this bike when I first picked it up. The styling is so aggressive, like it looks a bit nuts. It's so angry-eyed and pointy and loud. But once I got on it, you know, it's actually quite friendly. It's a common misconception that really high performance motorcycles are inherently hard to ride, which is sometimes true, but not always. The fact is, the suspension and chassis is tuned to be able to handle whatever it is that you throw at it. I think what'll get you in trouble with a bike like this is being impatient with the throttle, because it's got a rowdy amount of power, obviously, and with the way the police are in Australia, you have to basically commit war crimes if you want to get anywhere near the red line. But I find that, at least in the road and sport modes, which I've been spending my time in, the engine mapping is fairly sedate off the bottom. It's not too aggressive. It's not until about 5,000 or 6,000 RPM where it starts to really take off, and I've even had a few small slides in pretty good conditions riding this bike. Just when it hits that power band, I'll overlay some footage if I've got some of a little moment. But yeah, it's got a lot of grunt, but while you would think that this triple cylinder engine is the centerpiece of the Speed Triple, which I guess it is, what really blows me away is the brakes and the suspension, and not just the bite of the brakes and the handling of the suspension, but the feel you get. a real feeling of quality, this motorcycle. All the details, these beautiful MCS levers. It's sort of that unquantifiable feeling of quality you get like when you pick up like an expensive torque wrench, or you know, like a Rolex watch. You can't quite tell what it is, but it just feels right. I've complained in the past about Triumph TFT display designs, but I really like this one. It's minimal, and it's not until you start fiddling around with the settings that you start getting a lot of information. Guys, I'm just at the servo getting a the classic touring motorcyclist's lunch. Sausage roll and sauce, goes without saying. I just wanted to show you, this thing has a keyless ignition. See, it's got this fob, and I've had varying degrees of success with keyless systems, but I gotta say this one has worked really well. Just being able to open up the fuel cap without a key, just by being near the motorbike. The steering lock, you just press the button. It's really cool. You can hear it going off. So yeah, as long as you don't lose the fob, it's actually really handy. You just stick the key in your pocket and you're good to go. So I want to make a note of that, because I've ridden some bikes where the keyless system was more hassle than it was good, but I found it to be really useful on this bike. Couple of sporting cars ahead of me. Might follow this Porsche. Hey, I think if you must have a really fast motorcycle, then I think a super naked's the way to go in this day and age. The ergonomics on this are perfect for me. It's upright enough that you can spend all day on it. I know, because I've spent the last 2 days on it. But it still allows you to move about the seat and get a nice tuck on when you want to push on. So I think it really is the best of both worlds. This quick shift is also spectacular. I think it's had revisions compared to the outgoing bike. So smooth. I haven't run into any problems with it. There's just so much feedback you get through that front brake lever, and so much power. They're marvelous brakes, and this Öhlins suspension, just, you never feel like you're coming in too hot. It feels like it'll look after you. It's often bikes of this caliber I find can be quite nosy, particularly with a tyre profile like these ones, but actually I feel that the turn-in's quite progressive, which makes it less erratic and allows you to be a lot smoother. I would love to take this thing on a racetrack, because I can just tell it would be utterly spectacular. There is a track mode. I'm in road mode now. It's really not as stiff as I expected it to be. And man, that triple engine howl is something to behold. I wonder, you know, with bikes like this, I'm not anti-power. Power's awesome. I love power. But I would suggest if someone hadn't been spent any time on a modern sports bike in a while, I would suggest definitely try something like this, but also maybe test a Street Triple RS, its smaller capacity sibling. and maybe something like an MT09 SP or any middleweight naked sports bike. And if you feel like those things don't have enough grunt, then yes, go for it. Get a super naked. But really, as I said, it deserves a racetrack. All wheel spin.